Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Sorry I'm looking kind of straggly right now. I realized that I forgot to film an intro for this video, so I'm filming it now. But anyway, in this video, I am attempting to draw character art on my nails, specifically Spirited Away fan art on my nails. Drawing characters on my nails is something that I've never done before. I definitely love drawing and have drawn a lot of characters before. I was really into drawing in middle school and high school. So I was kind of assuming that it was going to be pretty easy, but it's definitely not easy. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are, and I actually have my window open because it is such a beautiful day outside and I could not possibly lock myself in my room without my window open. So I do apologize if you can hear noises from out there every now and then. Here are my nails. So I'm just gonna start off by doing some cuticle prep by pushing my cuticles back, cleaning up the dead skin, and roughing them up a little bit. And then I will move on to applying my full cover tips. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this paper towel down so that I don't get my background dirty. And I'm gonna start by applying this cuticle remover to all my cuticles to soften up the dead skin and make it easier to remove. And I usually let that sit for about a minute or two. Then I go in with my cuticle pusher and lightly push back my cuticles and scrape up any dead skin that is on them. I did just take off my last set of nails, so there's probably not going to be too much dead skin, but there is a little bit. And that isn't blood, that's just a little bit of red gel polish that is left on my nail from before. Just scrape it off. Alright, and now I'm just going to do the exact same thing to my other hand. And now I'm just going to take my cuticle nippers and cut anywhere where I see a lot of extra cuticle. And I'm always careful with this step because it's really easy to cut too much. You just want to make sure if you're doing this that you cut only where you can't feel it, because that means it's dead skin. If it starts hurting, don't cut that. And I'd probably say you want to be sparing with the cutters. I'm still not great at using them. I do nip myself every now and then. Okay, so I went ahead and roughed up my nails and got rid of all the dead skin. And yes, I know my nails are looking pretty rough and my cuticles are looking pretty bad right now, but just keep in mind, I'm a beginner. I'm still learning. And my nails are really thin right now. I should probably give them a break, but am I going to? No. I'll probably just try to limit myself to doing my nails only once a week instead of like twice a week, so that my nails can have breaks in between. Anyway, I'm just gonna wipe off all my nails with alcohol, and then I'm just gonna go in with some dehydrator and primer, and just like to be extra with my prep because I want these to stay on. If you guys have any tips for keeping your nails healthy, if you like to change your sets often like I do and helping them not to thin out, I would love to hear them in the comments. I love talking to you guys in the comments. So I'm actually just going to apply the primer to one hand first because I'm going to be putting the tips on one hand at a time. So now I'm just going to go in and put 2 coats of this peel off base coat. And since I want these to stay on, I'm just going to try to put the base coat only in the middle of my nail and leave the edges free so that the nails can stick on better. And I'm just going to flash cure it for 5 seconds in between each nail so that the gel doesn't move. And then I'm going to put it in there for a full minute. And now that the first base is cured, I'm going to put the second coat. Alright, so the base coat is on. And I'm going to be using these long square Beetles nail full cover tips for the first time. And I figured I'd use these because they have a lot of space to draw on. And I really should have sized these out before I put the base coat on, but what can you do? That's all right. Actually, you know what? I'll size them out on my other hand because my fingers are the same size. So I have all my tips sized out now, and now I'm actually going to prep the inside of them. And the way I'm actually going to prep them is by using 100% pure acetone. And I'm just going to take a small brush that I don't really care about. This is an old brush. And I'm just going to take some acetone on my brush and rub the inside of the nail tip where it's going to be touching my nail until all the acetone is dry. And now you can tell it's all rough inside. So I'm just gonna do that for all of the nails. So all the tips are prepped now, and I'm just gonna be using this Beetles nail glue to apply them to my nails. And I have my little gooseneck UV lamp set here so I can flash cure all of them in between. So how I'm gonna do this is first I'm going to apply a very thin layer to my nail. Just like that. And I'm going to flash cure that for 5 seconds. And then I'm going to take the tip and I'm going to apply a thin layer where it's going to be touching my nail, getting all the sides. And then to fill in this apex of the tip, I'm going to take a little extra gel on my brush and just kind of scrape it on to the edge like that. And then to apply it, I'm going to make sure that my gooseneck lamp is on, and I'm going to take the nail, press it down into my cuticle, and then just press it down until it's fully covering, and then flash cure it for 10 seconds or until it is stuck onto my nail and doesn't move. Okay, so now you can see that it's firmly on there and there's no air bubbles, which is really nice because air bubbles will make it lift. And I'm actually surprised I put like almost a perfect amount. But don't worry if it does spill out a little bit around the sides, because you can just go back in with your file and clean it up later. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my tips to this hand like I did this one. Anyway, so here they are all applied, and I also buffed them all. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to start with this hand. And for this hand, what I really would like to try to do is to do some Spirited Away character like nail fan art. Okay, so this is kind of a spoiler alert, but it definitely does not go as I had hoped. So yeah, just keep that in mind. The first thing I'm gonna do before I put any gel on is I'm going to go in with a base coat just to even out the surface and make it a little smoother to draw on. And the base coat I'm going to be using is this gelish one. I'll link everything I used down below in the description box. And also, I'm sorry, some of my cuticles are still bleeding, so... Okay, so I'm just going to go in with one layer of this on each of my nails. And I find it a little bit easier to do it if I place my nail on top of my UV lamp. So my camera died, but I went ahead and put a base coat on all 5 of these fingers because this is the hand I'm going to be doing first. And I know that a lot of people, when they do cartoon drawings on their nails, they put a nude base coat, but I have these reflective glitter polishes, and the colors I feel go with the Spirited Away theme really well. They're like purples and blues. So I think I'm actually going to do a reflective glitter base, and then I will use white and like block out the shapes that I'm going to draw with the white before going in with the color. So what I'm gonna do is just put a reflective gel color on each of my nails. And these are all the colors that I'm gonna be using. And I'm just going to flash cure that. Super pretty. I really like that. I don't know why this is so hard to open. Maybe you showed up too late. I left my shoes by the doorway. I like it that way. And I don't need you, but I want you. If you hate me, you're supposed to. I'm that someone you lean all your weight on. If you don't need me, why you call me in the night when you're so lonely? Lay it on me. So baby, come on. Okay, so here they are. They are looking so good. I am kind of sort of wishing that I used this blue and this blue on all of them and just like skipped the pinks, but that's all right. We're gonna work with this. So the next thing I'm gonna do is actually go over this with a matte top coat just to make it easier to draw on everything else. And I will go back over with a glossy top coat after I do all the drawings, but I'm just gonna be using this Beetles matte top coat. All right, so the matte top coat is on. And what I was thinking for these nails is to do one of the main Spirited Away characters on each nail. So a different character on each nail. Okay, so I'm sorry if I pronounce any of these characters' names wrong, but the first one that I wanted to do was No Face, and I think he should be pretty simple. Then I wanted to do one nail of Chihiro and one nail of Haiku. And I also wanted to do one nail of Haku in his dragon form, which I think this will probably be the most difficult. And I also want to do one nail with little soot sprites. So I think I'm going to start with the pinky. And on the pinky, since it's the smallest nail, I'm going to do the little soot sprites. So I have my little palette here. And the nail art brushes that I'll be using are these Beetles liner brushes. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is use white to block out the shapes that I want to make on this nail so that the colors pop up better. Ooh, and this bottle is really dirty. And before I start doing anything, I'm going to put some isopropyl alcohol in this little dish so that I can use it to wipe up any mistakes that I make. So I have one little dish with isopropyl alcohol and also one with acetone. And to do this nail art, I'm going to be propping up my nail on this little jar that I have just so I can work on it better. And I don't know, I think it's going to be easiest for me to work on them with my hand facing this way. I could try to do it with like facing this way, but I feel like that's going to be harder for me. So I'm just going to do it like this. I think this is easiest for me. And I'm just going to have my little reference photo off to the side. And for this one, since the soot sprites are round, I'm actually going to use my dotting tool to block out the shapes. It's okay if the circles aren't perfect, but I definitely want to make sure to make them big enough to do the little eyes on them. So I'm definitely going to try to make it a little bigger.
Maybe you shouldn't talk that way. Really matter if the bed's made.
So I think that's about a good size. And since the soot sprites aren't perfectly round, they do actually have like little kind of like fuzzies coming off of them, I'm going to use this really small brush that I have. And I'm just gonna go in and make little lines.
I'm not someone you lean all your weight on.
Definitely not perfect. I think I'm gonna actually try to make it a little bit rounder. Okay, I think that I am, for the most part, happy with that first one, so I'm just going to flash cure it for about 10 seconds, just so nothing can happen to it. Okay, and so I think there's room to make one more down here, and I also do want room to put a couple little stars. So I'm gonna do one more soot sprite right here.
We both know how I'm feeling. I can hear you breathing.
And then just like before, go in and make the little fuzzy.
Won't you? If you hate me, you're supposed to. I'm not someone.
Alright, I think that's good. I'm just gonna go in with this little brush with some acetone and clean up the edge right here. Okay, so now I wanna go in and block out like a star or two. And it's funny because the stars, they actually aren't normal stars. They have 3 pointy edges instead of 5. So I think the easiest way to do this is going to also be with the dotting tool. So I think I'll put one right here. And then I'm actually going to try to use the other side of the dotting tool, the smaller side. Card just zoomed by. I'm going to use the smaller side of the dotting tool to just kind of poke up the edges of the star.
Ooh, baby,
Okay, you know what? I did 5. I was trying to do 6, but it didn't work out that way, but that's fine. 5 is all right. So I'm gonna cure that. And I think I'm gonna try to make 1 star over here as well. It's kind of hard to see, but right here.
So lonely, lay it on me.
The way that I am bending my finger right now.
Tonight, just let me be your someone.
Okay, and I'm gonna cure that. And I have room to do 1 more star up here. Okay, my camera cut out and I don't know when, but I did 1 more star up there and now I'm gonna cure it. Okay, so now that all my shapes are blocked out, I'm gonna go in and color them. So the soot sprites are basically black, but I think they're more of like a grayish black. They're not completely black. So I'm gonna put some black on my palette. Do not know how these get so messy. Also a tiny dollop of white, just like super small, like that. I am going to mix that together. So I don't know if you can tell, but it is a tiny bit less opaque than that black, which I think will be perfect. So I'm just gonna go in and color both of these soot sprites. I'm just gonna color in the center first with this bigger brush. And then I'm gonna go back in with this tiny brush and pull the color out towards the sides.
I left my shoes by the doorway. I like it that way. And I don't need you, but I want you. If you hate me, you're supposed to. I'm that someone you lean all your weight on. If you don't need me, why you call me in the night when you're so lonely? Lay it on me.
I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of black because it was looking a little too transparent for my liking.
Be your someone.
Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cure that. By the way, all of the gels that I'm using, none of them are like fancy liner gels or like nail art gels specifically. They're just all gels that I found on Amazon. And I'll link them all below.
Someone you lean all your weight on. If you don't need me, why you call me in the night when you're so lonely? Lay it on me.
I've done a lot of painting in the past, but never on my nails. And honestly, I think, you know, like the same concepts apply, but it's just really tiny and you have to be super patient. Which patience is something that I definitely need to work on. I think that's good. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna cure that. And to clean off my brushes in between every color, I'm just dipping them in the acetone and then wiping them off on a lint-free nail wipe. Okay, so next I'm gonna do the little eyes. And for that, I'm definitely gonna use my dotting tool again. And I'm just gonna take white.
And I don't need you, but I want you.
I think those are good, so I'm gonna cure those for just 5 seconds. And now I'm going to just put the little black pupils.
If you don't need me, why you call me in the night?
Oh, I think those are a little too big. So I'm just gonna take my nail wipe and wipe it off with some alcohol. That's why we cure all the layers below. So that if you make mistakes, you can just go in with some alcohol and wipe it off without ruining everything else. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to dip the small end in the black, but then I'm going to dot it a few times on the palette to get rid of most of the gel. And then maybe that way there will be less gel and it'll make a smaller dot. Okay, I think that is as good as I am going to get it. So I am going to cure that. Okay, and now I'm gonna do the same eyes on this one. So first going in with the white. And I think one of the tricks is to just take your time and go really slow. Okay, I think that's good, so I'm just gonna cure it. And the good thing about their eyes is they're not perfect. Like if you look at this image, they're kind of not perfectly round. So now I'm going to go in with the black for the pupil, just like I did before. Boom. So I kind of wish that I made these eyes facing this way. I don't know why I did them facing that way, but whatever, it's fine. They kind of look like little germs or something. So I'm just gonna go in to do the stars now. And I'm going to do a yellow, a pink, and a green star. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of each of these colors on my palette. And I'm also gonna use the dotting tool to color in the stars. Kind of just do the same thing as what I did when I did the white.
We both know how I'm feeling. I can hear you breathe.
So there's a little pink one, so I'm going to flash cure that. The good thing is with these really tiny layers, it takes just like a couple seconds for them to cure. Then I'm gonna wipe off my tool, and then I'm going to do the green.
You call me in the night when
Now that I'm looking at this star from this perspective, it looks pretty jank. I don't know, let's see if I can fix it a little bit.
you're someone.
I think that's a little better, right? I'm gonna cure that. And then I'm going to do yellow. I can already tell that this set is going to take a long time, and I'm honestly doubting that my camera is going to be alive that long.
Lately, but I don't check.
Okay, so that yellow is really light. I do have a brighter yellow. I think I'm gonna use the brighter yellow actually. So I'm just gonna wipe that off. And I'm gonna use this yellow from Beetles. It is brighter, but it also looks a little orange, honestly. So maybe I think it should be fine since the base is white though.
Supposed to, I'm that someone. You leave all your weight on.
All right, there we go. All right, so I think that I'm happy with this nail. So I'm just going to top coat it so nothing happens to it. And the top coat I'm gonna be using is the gelish top coat.
Baby, come on. Tonight, just let me be your someone.
And I'm going to fully cure that. Oh, I noticed I spilt some into my cuticle, so I'm gonna go in with some acetone and clean that up before curing it. Because if you leave cured gel in your cuticles, it makes it lift much faster. Okay, so here's the first one. I'm just gonna wipe it off with some alcohol to get rid of any sticky layer. I'm really happy how that turned out for them being my first characters on nails. I'm actually going to go in and also top coat the back of my nail under here just before I forget. Putting a top coat underneath also just keeps it clean and helps it from getting super dirty. And it'll also make it appear clear. Okay, so I'm just gonna wipe the underneath with alcohol as well now. And there we go, first nail complete. So with that first nail complete, my hopes were high. I was really looking forward to doing the second nail. And then it turned out bad. I really hated it. Here's what it looked like. So I attempted to do Chihiro like I had planned originally, and honestly, it's not that bad looking at it now, but it just really did not match what I was seeing in my head. And so after working on it for literally like an hour, I worked on it for a really long time, I ended up just taking it off and restarting with a fresh, clean nail. So here we are with a clean set of nails, and I actually went ahead and did my right hand the same way that I did my left hand. And also from here until the end of the video, it is going to be a voiceover because I was just like super frustrated and flustered with that first nail. So I thought it would just be best if I left the talking until after and was just quiet and calmed down and just focused on making this set look the best that I could, even though it didn't go as I had planned. And in the end, this set is actually one of my favorite sets. I love it so much. It turned out so pretty. But anyway, yeah. Here I am just deciding to put these little aura gems on every other nail. So I put this little heart one on, and then I'm just going with my top coat. And I decided to do the same design I had done with the soot sprites and the stars on my pinky because that had turned out really well and I really liked that and it was really easy. So I did that on my middle finger and my thumb as well. So then I just continued to alternate that pattern. I did soot sprites, and then on the next nail I did another aura gem, and then on my thumb I did more soot sprites. I've started a lot of new hobbies before. I have so many different hobbies. So I know that when you start something new, it can be frustrating because you want your work to look like all of the work you are seeing online. You want to do the best nail art. You want it to look super crisp and cute. But I also know from experience starting new hobbies that that's just really not fair to expect yourself to do great, like amazing high level work right off the bat. You have to be nice to yourself and realize that you have to give yourself time to learn. And just because it's not looking perfect the first time or the first 3 times, 4 times that you are trying it, it does not mean that you are bad and that you cannot create beautiful art. Everyone just takes longer, different amount of times to learn things, and it really just comes down to practice. That can be really annoying to hear all the time, like, oh, okay, all you gotta do is practice, practice, and you'll get better at it. But it's really true. If you practice and just keep at something because you enjoy doing it, then you're really gonna get better over time. It's really amazing to see actually how you can improve over time just practicing things without even realizing it, because you make a mistake one time and then the next time you think about what you did last time and you make it a little better every single time. So I know I was really frustrated with the fact that I couldn't do the fan art like I wanted to on my nails. I had this really elaborate, amazing, cute design in my head, and I really wanted it to come out looking how I wanted, and when it just wasn't working, I was getting really frustrated and kind of upset with myself. But I realized that this is my first time trying to draw on my nails, and it's okay that I'm not as good as the professionals and those amazing people who I see do nail art on YouTube and on social media, because I just have to give myself time and practice. So I decided to just redo the set and have a clean head and just approach it from a different way and try to make it look cute and be happy with it regardless. Because even though it didn't turn out the way I originally intended, I still wanted to have a cute set that I could wear and be proud of. And also just to show that if something doesn't go as you originally intended, don't get frustrated and upset with yourself and just quit and think that you just can't do it. It's okay. Just keep trying and maybe just relax for now and try something a little bit easier but that you can still be happy with and proud of, and just try to do the same design that you were thinking of maybe later, another day, and approach it from a different angle. And if it doesn't work out again, that's okay. Just keep practicing. Don't be hard on yourself, guys. Maybe in the future, after I've done nail art for a longer amount of time, because I've actually only been doing my nails for like 2 months now, so maybe in the future when I've practiced a lot more and have a lot more experience, I'll go back and try to do the same fan art for Spirited Away, and I can look back at this video and be like, wow, look how much I've improved. At least that's the hope. Let's hope I can get there. But again, that's also one of the things that motivates me to keep practicing and keep trying, is when I try to do something and I really wanted to do it and it doesn't turn out the way that I wanted to, I think, you know what, I just have to keep practicing and working my way up little by little, and one day I will hopefully be able to do what I wanted to do, and I will look back and say, wow, I can do it now. Look how much I've improved. Anyway, but that's enough rambling about that. Since this is just a voiceover, I figured maybe I could use this time to just chat with you guys. So I have been trying to upload consistently on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and that's been working out really well for me so far. I do have a very difficult midterm coming up this Monday though, so I'm posting this video today, and then I'm going to try my hardest to get the next video posted on Tuesday, but if it's not posted on Tuesday, it will definitely be posted by Wednesday. Also, my birthday's coming up, and I thought it would be fun if I did like a birthday vlog and kind of just brought you guys along with me on everything that I'm going to do on my birthday. I'm probably going to end up spending the day with my mom, hanging out at some of our favorite shops and going to our favorite stops, our favorite food places. So if that's something that you guys are interested in seeing, definitely let me know. So here I am finished with my left hand, and this is how it turned out. I'm actually so happy with how it turned out. I think that it is so cute, and the gel is so sparkly and so gorgeous. And I also love those Aura gemstones so much. I got them from Temu. They were part of my Temu haul. If you guys haven't seen that and are interested in that, you can go watch it. But anyway, now I'm just doing my right hand using my left hand. And you guys, yes, it was a struggle. It was really hard. But I tried using that technique where you like anchor your pinky. So here I'm like anchoring my pinky on the side of the jar. I did kind of only remember to do it like half the time, but I think that just with practice, I'll definitely get more used to doing it and it'll become easier with time. But anyway, yeah, since you already saw me do this exact same thing on my left hand, I'm just kind of like skipping through a lot and just showing you guys like some little key points so that you can see that I did do my right hand with my left hand.
Maybe I made some mistakes. Maybe you shouldn't talk that way. Really matter if the bed's made or if it wore the same shirt that day. Maybe I don't think the same. Maybe you showed up too late.
And here's the finished nails. I'm just applying some cuticle oil because I was rough on my cuticles. I'm still not great with a nail drill, so I do get myself every now and then, like every single time. But yeah, so cuticle oil, very important. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you like this nail set. I know it's a lot simpler than I was intending on doing for this video, but I still hope that you guys enjoyed. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. It makes my day to see you guys' comments. And hi to all my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing and becoming part of my family. I love you guys so much. Go be amazing because you are so amazing and beautiful. And have a great day. I love you. Bye. Mwah.